For Ogun State, Ogun is a major industrial hub, so they attract significant investment from large and domestic and international corporations. Yes, that is the kind of market Ogun has. Now to Anambra State. Anambra is one of the major commercial hubs in the country. Anambra is home to Onitsha, which hosts the Onitsha main market, one of the largest markets in Africa, and a major commercial center for trade across the country. And you see, for Ogun State, they have to heavily depend on Lagos to sell. If Lagos shuts its business doors, we will hear them. Now, that is not to say other people don't buy from Ogun State, no. But I think Lagos is their number one market. But you see, Onitsha, Anambra State, they have somehow managed to attract buyers from everywhere. You can't situate their buyers in a particular state just like you situate Ogun buyers to Lagos. Hope you get my point. Now, before I start this video, this is just a disclaimer. This video is not intended to bring any negative comparison or bring about any tribal rhetorics here, because Nigerians, I know you people. That is why I am just putting this out there as quickly as possible. It is just a video to admire the greatness of two beautiful states in Nigeria. I'm talking about Ogun State and Anambra State in the area of, having prominent and influential people, state and industrialization, business, and otherwise. I mean, you understand as I continue, okay? Anyway, if you're new here, my name is Osih-Oyelude. Thank you so much for joining, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So like I said, it's not to bring about any negative, thing here. Now, that is not to say other states in Nigeria does not contribute to Nigeria's growth or don't have prominent personalities who are contributing to Nigeria. No. You know that over the years, there has been this talks that these two states, Ogun and Anambra State, has the highest number of, indigenous billionaires, educated, influential people in business, industries, and all of that. So I decided to look into it. Yeah, I decided to look into it. So, like I said, let me state clearly again, I am not from Ogun State or Anambra State. My husband is not from Ogun State or Anambra State. My father, mother, none of them is from Ogun State and Anambra State. So I don't have a horse in this race. Okay? Anything you see here is what I saw in the course of my research. If you have anything to counter it or you have anything to add, let's make it fun in the comment section, okay? No bad blood, no quarrel here. Now, I know someone might want to say, Lagos has this. Why not Lagos? Yes, I know Lagos has it. But you see, some of the people who we consider rich in Lagos are mostly people from other states who live and do business in Lagos. I mean, that is if we want to be honest. Some of these people are not from Lagos. Some of them are even from this Ogun and Anambra State, Ogun, like outside Lagos. No, Lagos is just like a melting pot where all of them meet. Some of these people are first from somewhere. So Lagos is more or less most of them's second home. You get what I mean? Again, you see Lagos. Lagos, again, had a good start in life. I mean, if you know what I mean, because it was once a capital for a very long time, until 35 years ago. So there is no level playing field in comparing Lagos to other states, because all these other states, some of them were even just in that 1990 that some states were created. So they practically built from the scratch. Lagos has an edge over them because Lagos, was capital before. So Lagos did not build from the scratch. But you see Ogun, Anambra, and some other states in Nigeria, they built from the scratch. They all started from, building their states. So I just thought I should put that out there, okay? So that you understand why I'm not including Lagos. Lagos, Nababa, yes, but for this comparison, I'm taking only Ogun and Anambra State. So from my research, it wasn't easy to draw up some things that I came up with. I must say that. But one thing is certain, They are both unique states contributing positively to the nation's economy. Both states possess strong economic foundation but have different strengths regarding industry, market structure, and the influential personalities from these states. So all that we'll look into in this video. Now, there is a reason why Ogun State is called the Gateway State, and these are positive reasons at that. Now, for instance, in the area of economy, my research found that Ogun economy is centered on a large-scale manufacturing and industrialization. And you see, they are benefiting from the proximity to Lagos. While Anambra's economy is defined by a strong trading and commercial culture, deeply rooted in its vast market industry. You see, two states making money, contributing positively, but different, market model. I don't know if that makes sense. Now you see, Ogun State does large-scale production, manufacturing, industrialization. Well, Anambra does industrialization too, but not on the scale of Ogun State. So what Anambra does mainly is trading and commercialization, and more or less theirs gets to the end users quickly because you're just trading, but buying and selling. Now, for these two states, their unique selling point gives them an edge over another, which quite frankly contributes to their economic growth in their distinct ways. Yes. For Ogun State, Ogun is a major industrial hub, so they attract significant investment from large and domestic and international corporations. Yes, that is the kind of market Ogun has. Two, Ogun State enjoys a strategic location. Now, its nearness to Lagos Commercial Center provides a strategic advantage for logistics, market access, and trade. The high-scale economy overflow that Lagos cannot accommodate finds its way to Ogun State, especially those that will require a large expanse of land. And Ogun is blessed with a large expanse of land. That is where Lagos is lacking. Lagos land has been taken over by water. So Ogun is blessed with land. So those business that cannot find their way in Lagos makes their way to Ogun State. Now, number 3 is key sectors. Major industries, including cement production, like Lafarge, fast-moving consumer goods, and a growing textile industry. The presence of free trade zones also attract foreign investment to Ogun State. Now, number 4, agriculture. Although industrialized, agriculture is still a very significant sector in Ogun State's economy, employing a large portion of the state's population and contributing to the state's GDP. Now, this is my research. I did not make it up in my head. Let's take it for the fun that it is. If possible, if you have constructive conversation, let's have it in the comment section, okay? So, I just said I should say that again. So now let's see Anambra State. Anambra's unique selling point. 1, entrepreneurial hub. Anambra is an entrepreneurial hub and is known for a strong culture of entrepreneurship and trade, with a significant portion of its economy driven by the informal sector and small and medium-scale enterprise. Number 2, natural resources. Is a state blessed rich with natural gas resources and it's been explored, and that gives the state money. Number 3, manufacturing. Not on the scale of Ogun State, but Anambra manufactures automobile in Osih Group, pharmaceuticals company, I'm talking about Emza Pharmaceuticals, petrochemicals are some of the things that are produced in Anambra State. Like I said, it may not be in the large scale of Ogun State. Now let's look at how these two markets operate. First, Ogun State. The proximity to Lagos, I cannot emphasize this enough. Ogun State's market is heavily influenced by the nearness to Lagos, providing access to Nigeria's largest consumer base. Now this fosters a demand for industrial goods and provides a large-scale market opportunities for manufacturers because they can easily sell. Now, Ogun State operates both urban and rural market. Let me explain. While it has a local market for daily goods and services, each state's market focus is more on industrial goods and services that supports the state's manufacturing base and trade with Lagos. Yes, because they need to target the customer base of Lagos. That is a smart business move because how will you have a neighbor like Lagos and you're not tapping into it? You snooze, you lose. Now, for specialized market, Ogun State is home for the largest market for adire and batik fabric in West Africa, indicating a strong presence of specialized traditional goods. Now, you want to wonder why the biggest garment industry is about to be built in the state? It's not coincidence. It's a well laid down plan. Now to Anambra State. Anambra is one of the major commercial hubs in the country. Anambra is home to Onitsha, which hosts the Onitsha main market, one of the largest markets in Africa, and a major commercial center for trade across the country. That is no mean feat to achieve. And you see, for Ogun State, they have to heavily depend on Lagos to sell. If Lagos shuts its business doors, Ogun will hear them. Now, that is not to say other people don't buy from Ogun State, no. But I think Lagos is their number one market. But you see Onitsha, Anambra State, they have somehow managed to attract buyers from everywhere. You can't situate their buyers in a particular state just like you situate Ogun buyers to Lagos. Hope you get my point. Now, Anambra also has a diverse market in Onitsha and in Nnewi that facilitates trading in vast areas of goods. Talking about electronics, textile, pharmaceuticals, auto parts, clothing, building materials, cooking utensils. So trading and commercial activity is very much, goes like high scale. Not industrialized like high scale like Ogun State here, but it flows. Like people just buy, sell, the commercial activity is just going on like that, Yeah. So a large portion of their market activity is driven by the informal sector, contributing significantly to the state's GDP, but also presenting challenges in regulation and access to financing. Now let's talk about the specialized market in Anambra State. Nnewi Auto Parts Market is a hub for auto parts manufacturing and trading, drawing buyers from across Africa, just as how Ogun State specializes in batik and adire. Now you see how strong these two states are in their own business model, which is peculiar to them, works for their economy, and in turn, works for the nation at large. The wealth of Anambra is largely generated through commercial trade and small-scale manufacturing too, reflecting the state's, entrepreneurial spirit. Well, they also say a significant, aspect of the state's economic strength is the high number of individuals who have accumulated wealth through persistent training and business acumen, even within the informal sector. Now, let's talk about the prominent people from these states because that is the argument that most of the prominent people in Nigeria are from Ogun and Anambra State. Yeah, Ogun is home to a lot of wealthy industrialists, entrepreneurs, influential people, name it. Ogun, a lot of them are from there. Now, prominent names and influential people like Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, the late Chief MKU Abiola, pioneer of Nigerian theatre, talking about the late Hubert Ogunde, Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, that's Fela's mother, former interim head of state Chief Ernest Shuneko, former Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo, now late elder statesmen Chief Ayo Adebanjo and Chief Abraham Adesoya, businessman late Mr. Bumi Balogun, Mr. Mike Adenuga, Mr. Adebayo Ogunlesi, Chief Kesanti Adebutu, Oba Otudeko, the late Awujale, Oba Sikiru Adetana, educationist Tai Solarin, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, talking about Dimeji Bankole, renowned banker Fola Adiola, actress Funke Akindele, Fuji music maestro K1 the Ultimate, author Olarotimi of The Gods Are Not to Be Blamed, filmmaker Tunde Kelani, Pastor Tunde Bakare, Wizkid, just to mention a few. Yes, there are more prominent people. This is just a few I can mention. Now, let's take a look at the prominent people from Anambra State. We're talking about key political figures like the first president of Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, first executive vice president of Nigeria, Dr. Alex Ikweme, the leader of the defunct Biafran movement, Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, the first Black Secretary General of the Commonwealth Organization, Chief Emeka Anyukwu, first Senate President of Nigeria, Mr. Nwafo Orizu, former Senate President Dr. Chuba Okadigbo, former DG of NAFDAC and one-time Minister of Information, Dr. Dora Akunyili, former Governor of Anambra State and former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, His Royal Majesty, Nemeka Alfred Achebe, the Obi of Onitsha. Now let's talk about authors. Professor Chinua Achebe of the classic Things Fall Apart, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Cyprian Ekwensi, author of Burning Grass and An African Night Entertainment. Talk about actor Pete Edochie, the great mathematician Professor Chike Obi, musicians like Chief Osita Osadebe, Chief Oliver De Cook, present-day musicians like P Square, Flavor CK Fino. For business people, we're talking about Cletus Ibeto of Ibeto Cement, Emeka Ofo, John Bosco Onukwu, that's the founder of the John Bosco Onukwu Foundation. We have Allen Onyema, that's the chairman of Airpeace. We have Dr. Stella Okoli, that's the founder of Emza Pharmaceuticals Limited. We have Innocent Chukuma, that's the owner of Innocent Motors. We have Cosmos Madoka, founder of Coscharis Group. We have Obi Kubana, founder of Kubana Group. For religious leaders, we have the Blessed Michael Iwen Netansi. We have Cardinal Francis Rinze. We have Henry Ndukuba, that's the primate of the Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, just to mention a few. So you see the prominent people from these two states, politicians, the rich, the wealthy, the industrialists, influential people, educationists, author, royal fathers, religious leaders, prominent entertainers, and you wonder why people, say these two states have the most influential people in Nigeria, and we're not even talking about the business side. You see, another area that I tried to, check these two states in the area of the states that has the highest number of citizens that have had the highest score in JAM or the best result on WAEC. Now, when I looked up that information, I didn't see much online. It's only 2025 highest score of JAM 2025 this year and 2023, and that is indigenous of Anambra State. I tried looking up Ogun State. There was no information for that, but I know that there are indigenous of this state. More indigenous of this states have had the highest score in JAM and in WAEC. So, but yeah, the information is not available online. So yeah, I couldn't get that. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you that these two states contribute significantly to the growth of the nation, both in business and in human resource capacity. So what do you think? Let's talk respectfully in the comment section. Okay, if there are any other states you want me to do this healthy comparison, let me know, and then we'll draw the facts together. Okay, all right. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now.